Hello and welcome to XR Today. My name's David Dungay. Today we have a very special session. I am joined by Nathan Pettyjohn, founder and president of the VRARA, and David Adelson, CEO of Innovate Orlando. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you both doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. So we're going to be talking about IGS coming up this October, but should we do some introductions first and foremost? Nathan, do you want to kick us off? Tell us a bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm the founder and president of the VRAR Association, and we host the Immerse Global Summit conferences. VRAR Association is the largest global trade group in the VR and AR industry. We have over 60 chapters around the world, 25 industry committees, thousands of companies that are involved with us, and been around since 2015. And I previously was at Lenovo, where I led the global go-to-market for XR. Been a startup founder as well. So, but I'm just really excited to be hosting this conference with a great person like David Adelson as well. So I'll turn it over to him.
Yeah.
And David.
So first of all, good afternoon, and thanks for taking some time, David, to speak with Nathan and I. So I'm David Adelson. I'm the CEO of Innovate Orlando. Innovate Orlando is a nonprofit here in Central Florida, and our core mission really is technology and innovation and bringing our ecosystem together and letting the world know of all the great attributes that we have sitting here in our backyard and have had for decades. So I get the privilege of working alongside the Orlando tech community here and many other amazing leaders and bringing Orlando to the forefront of everybody's minds. But previous to Innovate Orlando, like Nathan, I was a serial entrepreneur and investor. I led a company here in Central Florida, a software company, and started in 2008 and had the privilege to exit in 2019 and found my next passion, really wanting to be a part of growing this ecosystem and making sure the world knows just how amazing the talent is here in Orlando.
Well, let's stick on that point, David. You know, Orlando, it's had some big changes over the last few years when it comes to the tech community there. Maybe you could talk about, why is Orlando, the perfect place for this event and for this partnership to really flourish?
Yeah, absolutely, David. It's such an interesting story when you really begin to peel back the layers of what Central Florida is. And most people outside of this region and area know Orlando is one thing, and that's the place where the mouse gets to live, and that's Disney World. But what they don't know is what's been brewing here for the past 50 years. And for the past 50 years, this region has been the hidden gem of technology and innovation across the world. So when you look at what's happening here in Central Florida, and one of the biggest pieces as to why we brought the Metacenter to life, and we'll talk about what Metacenter means. You see Nathan and I wearing our t-shirts, and obviously we have Metacenter Global Week coming up. But for the past several decades, we have been really focused on some core industries here. And those industries are VR and AR, simulation. So our simulation and training market here is a $6 billion industry and has been in existence for a very, very long time. We're a leader in AI. We're a leader in gaming, where we have Electronic Arts and companies like Iron Galaxy literally in our backyard. And then when it comes to IoT, we have NeoCity, which is where semiconductors are being built and manufactured. And so when you look at all of these layers, these core industries, what's most exciting is the convergence that's happening right now. Those leading industries are what's making up Web 3.0 and where this next generation of spatial computing is going. And we get to have that here all in Central Florida. And now we get to tell the world about it.
Fantastic. So Nathan, maybe you could talk to us a little bit about Metacenter, that relationship, and how that's really driving the Immersive Global Summit.
Well, we've had a really successful Immerse Global Summit the last couple of years, right? Some of the most profound thought leaders in the world, in covering all facets of virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence. We wanted to take this conference up to another level, and so when I heard David's vision for creating this massive, long-term plan, and we just had to jump at it. And essentially, we're co-locating with Synapse, which is another conference. And so by bringing those two together, and Synapse is focused on a lot of emerging technologies as well, I think it creates a bigger opportunity for everyone that's coming to the conference to learn more. And we have this kind of vision with the conference where we want to deliver inspiration. And we do that by bringing together a lot of different vertical industries. So if you're in the gaming industry and you want to get creative and think about, how can we apply other technologies we're not used to? Like, you come to Immerse Global Summit and you discover some really interesting technologies. Maybe they're being applied in enterprise and you say, hey, that could actually be used in gaming, or vice versa. So it's really this cross-pollination of industries. And we've got some amazing speakers lined up. We've got Meta as the flagship platinum sponsor. They're going to be opening the keynote on day one. They're going to have a large exhibit booth where they're demonstrating some really cool new things that they're bringing to market. Unity and their chief revenue officer is going to be speaking. We've got Lockheed Martin, AWS, Sony, NASA is coming to speak about a lunar project that they have. So it's going to be just a fascinating conference with a lot of great programming.
Nathan, let's try to dig into some of those exciting brands a little bit more. What can people really expect? What kind of really top exciting sort of moments people can expect from this event in October?
Well, that's a big question. I think everybody comes to these events for something different and unique, but Unity has continued to be one of the strong software companies in this space. I think you're going to see a lot of companies that are building for the new Vision Pro that are building on Unity. So you're going to get a sneak peek at what some of those applications are going to be. I think, Meta has announced their Quest 3. So I'm hoping that we get to see the Quest 3 in action and across gaming and across some business. I would expect, nothing short of amazingness from somebody like Meta. But there's something for everybody here. I think, whether it's the application layer, or if you would really want to get into kind of the back-end infrastructure, like AWS is coming in talking about spatial data lakes and how they're powering a lot of this industry behind the scenes. So something for everybody. And then there's also going to be some fun nightlife as well, and some VIP parties.
David, tell us a little bit about the fun stuff around the edges, the outside of the learning. What kind of experiences are you bringing exhibitors this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So as we all have attended a lot of conferences, the biggest takeaway for all of us is collaboration and relationships. And while some of that happens through learning and listening to our speakers or through the exhibits, it also happens after hours. And when Nathan and I began to speak about the vision of what Metacenter Global Week could look like, it wasn't to be just a regular conference. We attend enough of those each year. This needs to be an experience. And an experience generally is not just about what happens during the day, but it's about the arts and the entertainment that lights up at night as well. And how do you bring digital arts into an actual conference so that not only are you learning, but you're also seeing, touching, and really being immersed inside of an experience. So we're really excited this year because the city of Orlando, while this is being produced and put on alongside Immerse Global Summit and Synapse, Innovate Orlando has taken that lead. But we've taken the lead with some amazing partners in our community, specifically within our mayor's offices. And the city and the county have really leaned in to make sure that this is a repeatable event that just grows larger and larger. So this is year one, where we expect about 5,000 people. But year two will be 10, and year three will be 15, and we will continue to grow. And as we grow, this will become the South by Southeast experience for this region. So we have South by Southwest. This will become the South by Southeast. So some of those nighttime activations, we have a killer VIP party being planned for Monday night. Tuesday night, we are creating a scavenger hunt for all the participants to break into teams and have AR experiences, but also just a cool pub crawl and restaurant crawl and see some of the areas that are of attraction within downtown. So that's on Tuesday, and that's going to be a ton of fun. Wednesday, we're shutting down this location called Church Street. And on Church Street, we're going to have what's called the Mayor's Jam. And the Mayor's Jam is Mayor Dyer will be our MC. And we're bringing out all of these local bands to really just play and listen to music. And a lot of these local bands are CEOs of our companies here, which is so cool. And then on Thursday, not only do we have our ending VIP party, but we have something really big being planned right now. And I can't tell you who the name of the artist is going to be, but it's a name that everybody knows and everybody's going to want to show up for. And that will be on Thursday night. And again, in between just the activations at nighttime, we'll have the arts community showing up for this. We have different types of areas sectioned off in downtown, which will have signage. We'll have the buildings turned to a specific color. I mean, we want people to know that this is real and that this is going to be not just 1 year. This is going to become something you'll want to attend every October for the next 20 years.
Wow, sounds exciting. I need to go and book my ticket ASAP by the sound of it. So, Nathan, I want to talk about some of those big trends coming out from this year in the space of clearly generative AI is one of them. The Apple Vision Pro is another. I don't want to speak about your big sponsors, competitors, but everyone is talking about the Apple Vision Pro, what that means for the space. What are your thoughts on that, and how's the show going to address these kind of big themes?
Sure. So we're bringing programming to the show, including generative AI, right? Gen AI has an opportunity to really fast forward and accelerate immersive technologies, right? Creating new types of content faster than ever seen before. We're already seeing it, right? You can go in and type some scripts and create metaverse worlds in like literally seconds that would normally take hours, months, weeks to do. So we're going to be trying to highlight some of those opportunities so people can get a jump and really like look at how can I apply Gen AI to my business across the board, including like pulling in immersive technologies to it as well. That's huge. And of course, your mention of Apple and their Vision Pro, we expect that that's really going to accelerate the market in terms of the masses adopting this. Now, you could argue that that's a very expensive device, but it's got the attention of pretty much everybody out there. I think within like 4 days, they had like 50 million views or something on their announcement of that product. So if you didn't know what spatial computing was before, most people do now. So I think that's going to usher in a whole new level of like knowledge workers using immersive technologies. And also like media and entertainment in a whole new way that no one's even thought of before. So we're going to try to expose as much of that as possible, get people thinking about, what does the next year to 3 years involve? And it's going to be a whole new world for everybody. We've got to adapt. And if you're not adapting, right, you're getting left behind. So come to Metacenter Global Weeks and stay ahead.
We certainly do need to adapt, and there'll be a lot of viewers here watching today thinking, oh, I haven't really started my immersive journey yet in my own business. I guess I wonder what I want to ask both of you, actually, and I'm going to start with David here. Why should businesses really care about an event like this one? What does it mean for them, especially those businesses who might not be as familiar with this kind of tech we're talking about here? David, do you want to start us off? What have you got for us?
Yeah, absolutely. Megan and Nathan actually began to touch on a bit of this, but I think all businesses have to watch where the puck is going, so to speak. So you need to know where things are going and innovation's going. And while I think for the past several years, everyone knew that the VR and the metaverse, call it whatever you want to call it, but everybody knew that the virtual world space was going in a direction. But the moment that a company like Apple cements things, it becomes very real. And it becomes real because not only is it a consumer product now, but it becomes a mainstream product. And this happened in 2008 when the iPhone came out. And I remember the stories when people thought that that wasn't going to be successful. But obviously, look where we are today. And look at the businesses that were built around it. And every single company, every single industry is represented in that space right now. That is exactly what's about to happen for this next generation of spatial computing. So if you are a company and you are not thinking about where your users are going to show up, it's going to be inside of spatial computing, and it's going to happen in the next 5 years. So either begin to formulate your plan today, or just play catch up to your competitors later. And these types of conferences are the types of conferences that give you the head start to understand what the space truly looks like.
And Nathan, maybe you can give us your thoughts on why businesses should care, and of course, how people can sign up to come along to IGS this year.
Well, I don't think I can top what David just said. I mean, he really put it very eloquently. You know, you got to stay ahead in business, or you're going to be playing catch up. And spatial computing, Gen AI, right? These are all things that are getting implemented, whether it's entertainment and gaming, or whether it's like training your team and your staff. And we've got proof that virtual reality, immersive tech does a better job training people, making them smarter. They learn faster, they retain more knowledge. And that really is critical for every single business on the planet. So everybody should be here. And if you want to get tickets, go to metacenterglobal.com and you can easily sign up for those. Book your hotels while you can, still get discounts on hotels. So metacenterglobal.com is the place to go.
Fantastic. Well, unfortunately, that is all we've got time for. Make sure you get the 17th to the 19th of October in your diary. David, Nathan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
And thank you for watching. Be watching me, David Dungay, on XR today. Thanks for watching.